I have placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the memory systems of this R2 unit. My father will know how to retrieve it. You must see this droid safely delivered to him on Alderaan. This is our most desperate hour. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Star Wars usually calls to mind glowing sabers, starships roaring through impossible skies, and droids with more personality than half the humans around them. Yet the real reason the franchise keeps feeling alive is that its technology never looked perfectly clean or distant. It looked useful, battered, and close enough to touch. In 1977, a hologram message, a talking robot, or a mechanical hand felt like fantasy. In 2026, many of these ideas have real cousins in labs, hospitals, factories, military testing grounds, and even ordinary phones. They're not always as graceful as the movie versions, and some still cost a fortune, but the resemblance is getting harder to ignore. Before we start, drop a comment below and tell us which Star Wars invention you would actually trust in real life. Today, we're looking at 10 Star Wars technologies that are now real in 2026. Hologram Messages.
Imagine being able to virtually teleport from one space to another in real time. Hey Sergio,
Yes,
how does it feel like to be holoported?
it feels great to be holoported.
So if Sergio is to wear his HoloLens device, and I'm going to wear mine, we can see each other in full 3D in real time.
Princess Leia's message to Obi-Wan became the sci-fi shorthand for futuristic communication. Real holograms are not usually tiny blue ghosts projected from a droid, but volumetric displays and light-filled screens can now create floating 3D images that viewers can see from different angles. Holo-presence has moved even closer. A person can be captured with cameras and depth sensors, then displayed remotely as a three-dimensional figure. It still takes special hardware, but the idea of talking to someone as a life-size visual presence is no longer just space opera. Mixed reality helmets.
The latest third-generation helmet-mounted display system developed by Rockwell Collins ESA Vision Systems gives these pilots a higher level of situational awareness. It features a binocular 40 by 30 degrees field of view, high brightness, and high-resolution display with integrated digital night vision.
Star Wars helmets are rarely just helmets. Pilots and troopers use them to see, aim, communicate, and survive. Today's fighter helmets and mixed reality headsets are heading in that direction. Advanced pilot displays can project flight data onto the visor, supporting night vision and help the wearer target by looking. On the civilian side, mixed reality headsets place digital objects into the room, making training, design, and repair work feel more like operating inside a starfighter cockpit. Translator Earbuds.
Activate the assistant by saying, "Hey Google," or press and hold the earbud, then say,
"Help me speak Spanish,"
to launch conversation mode on the Translate app. When you're ready to speak to someone in another language, press and hold the earbud and speak in your native language.
Good afternoon. What are the menu specials today?
Buenas tardes. ¿Cuáles son los especiales del menú hoy?
C-3PO's brag about knowing millions of forms of communication sounded absurd for decades. Now, real-time translation is becoming a normal phone and earbud feature. Modern translation tools can listen to speech, translate it, and play the meaning back through headphones in dozens of languages. They still stumble over slang, accents, and jokes. Even so, the basic dream of a pocket-sized protocol droid is already here. Humanoid helper droids. R2-D2 and C-3PO made the galaxy feel crowded with mechanical workers. In 2026, humanoid robots are walking into warehouses, factories, and test homes, though they are still far from fully independent companions. Machines from companies like Boston Dynamics, Agility, Figure, and others can move boxes, walk through human spaces, and learn limited tasks. The real droids are more likely to carry totes than rescue princesses, but that is how useful robots begin. Bionic Hands.
The Luke arm is the first powered shoulder on the market, funded by DARPA and developed by DECA Research and Development. We came to AD looking for the expertise in the upper limb fitting process. We thought it was a great collaboration between Mobius, Bionics, and AD to give the patient the best care that they could possibly get.
Got it.
Luke Skywalker's robotic hand was one of the most memorable medical images in the series. It looked like a machine, but it moved with human intention. Modern prosthetic arms can use muscle signals, sensors, motors, and sometimes experimental nerve interfaces to create multiple grip patterns. They cannot perfectly replace biology, but some users can control them with impressive precision. The fantasy hand has become a serious medical tool. Regenerative skin.
It's really revolutionary to the burn world. What RECELL is doing is it's taking a 3 by 2 centimeter area of donated skin from the patient, and what it does is enzymatically debrides or enzymatically digests those cells into individual cells. You suspend it in a buffer, and then you can actually spray it over a wound bed, and that 3 by 2 centimeter area can expand up to 80 to 1.
Bacta tanks promised fast healing after injuries that should have ended a hero's story. We do not have a miracle tank, but regenerative medicine has made real progress. Spray-on skin cell treatments, burn therapies, engineered tissue, and wound care systems are helping doctors repair serious injuries in ways that once sounded impossible. The real process is slower and far less cinematic, but it belongs to the same family of ideas. Delivery drones. Probe droids in Star Wars were small, flying machines sent ahead to search, scan, and report. Today's drones are doing real work in the sky, just with less sinister music. Delivery drones can carry food, medicine, groceries, and small packages in selected cities. Other drones help with mapping, inspections, disaster response, agriculture, and search missions. They're not floating spies from the Empire, but they are autonomous eyes and couriers. Personal speeders. Speeder bikes made low-altitude flight look thrilling and deeply unsafe. That second part remains true, but personal electric aircraft are now real. Small eVTOL craft and hoverbike-style vehicles use multiple electric rotors to lift one person into the air for short flights. Most are limited, expensive, and heavily regulated. Still, a personal craft that rises vertically and zips over opened ground is no longer a pure fantasy. Laser weapons. Star Wars blasters are noisy, colorful, and scientifically messy. Real directed energy weapons are quieter, stranger, and much more practical. Military laser systems are being tested and deployed to hit drones, rockets, and other fast threats. They do not fire visible red bolts across a hallway, and weather can affect them. But the basic idea of using focused energy as a weapon has crossed into reality. Powered exoskeletons.
ExoGT is a wearable robotic gait training device. ExoGT can be used to address differing goals for ambulation. It can be used to provide the ability to walk for someone who has lost the ability, or EXO can be used as a tool to address physical therapy gait retraining goals through patterning, stepping, and providing only supplemental assistance when a person needs it.
Darth Vader's suit kept a damaged body moving, breathing, and fighting. Real exoskeletons are not Sith armor, but they do help people move in ways they otherwise could not. Medical exoskeletons support rehabilitation after spinal cord injuries, strokes, and neurological conditions. Industrial versions reduce strain during lifting and repetitive work. They are bulky compared with movie armor, but wearable machines that strengthen or restore movement now exist. Now it's time to hear from you. Which real-world Star Wars technology would you try first? A hologram call, a translator earbud, a bionic hand, a speeder-style aircraft, or a helper droid? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.